Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mark, and in this video I wanted to discuss what happens when we just really are feeling stuck in a lower vibrational or dense energy. I've gotten some comments, and people have reached out. You guys have reached out to me about this. Why can't I move past this? I've been feeling stuck for a while, just been feeling rotten, depressed, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to get into with this video. And hopefully, when it's over, you're going to have a new way of looking at this dense energy and these patterns that are keeping you feeling stuck, and know what to do to move yourself out of it. So if you guys have not already, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And hit the notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I release a video. So energy, we're made of energy, and we are anchored into this density, this 3D density, this world, this reality. And this is something that we can't escape. We are here, we came in, we agreed to come in to do this. We are here to alchemize, we are here to transmute this density and move to a higher frequency, and we are moving the earth along with us, okay? So this is the process that we are going through. Well, when we awaken to our truth, we know who we are, we align with the higher frequencies, we have this amazing feeling of bliss, of happiness, of joy, of love, that kind of feeling. It's just the most amazing thing that there is. Well, we're surrounded by lower density energy, and we're anchored in a planet that is moving up through the third, fourth to the fifth dimension. So we are dealing with all these different frequencies, and we have patterning in us that continues to run patterns and thoughts that are aligned with lower density energy. And a lot of times what happens is these patterns kind of sneak up from our subconscious up. All of a sudden we start feeling a little bit lousy, and they're running, and it really lowers our vibration, because we gradually start to identify more and more and give more of our energy and more of our focus into these patterns. Did you ever, I know when you're observing people, a lot of times when somebody, let's say a family member has a problem and they come to you with a problem, they're very upset about it, and to you, from your perspective, you don't see that as a problem. In fact, maybe you're thinking, wow, that's kind of minimal. I can't believe they've blown it up and made a big deal about it. So what's happening there is that person is fully aligned with this dense energy, and to them, because their energy is flowing into this density, they're cut off from their higher dimensional source energy. So all they can see is a problem. And when we do that, our awareness kind of shrinks. Our focus shrinks, and the greater perspective gets cut off. Now, from your perspective, you see this, but yet you may have access to higher frequencies, and within you, you don't see it really as a problem. So you could offer assistance, you could offer help, you could just offer energy to help them shift a little bit, to kind of crack that egg open, maybe let some light in. And that's, from that perspective, that's really what's happening. And I know we've all come across this, we've all seen it, but why is it so difficult when we're the ones that have the perceived problem? And that happens because we are so focused on the problem and the lack of a solution that we are cutting off our own higher frequency light. So as that perspective shrinks, that awareness shrinks, we fail to see the greater picture, the fact that we are simply energy, and this problem really isn't a problem at all. It's just a dense energy that is within us, that is stuck, that is coming up to basically beg us to get it moving so that we can release it. So, but usually what we do to try to maybe kind of brush over these things and move past them is we try to find a solution. We'll come up with a solution that's acceptable to the problem, so that we can maybe feel just a little bit better about it, or maybe kick it down the roadside, so to speak. So a lot of times we will just search and search and search and put all this mental energy into finding a solution, and we'll find something that our mind, our ego will say, okay, based on the past, we know if with this problem, if we take an action like this over here, we're going to be able to feel a little bit better about it. Maybe we feel like we've accomplished something. Maybe we feel like we've found something that we lacked, a solution to the problem. But what happens is these feelings or these problems kind of come back up down the road. So that's almost like a temporary fix. It's a band-aid, right? Because we're trying to shift from a dense energy into a positive, all within the mind. So what we're missing out on doing is dropping into our core, into our center, and anchoring in that light and feeling that light. And when we do that, the problem seems to go away. So we realize, well, hey, there really wasn't a problem to begin with, right? It was all my mind. Well, how do we do this, or why do we do this? Why does this happen? Again, this is programming. This is what we're trained throughout life. We're trained to perceive and focus on a problem, and we're trained to finally, constantly find a solution to a problem. That's a pattern. Problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. And this is us working always within the 3D or the ego, those dense energies, that patterning, because that's what we're taught. So, but what if there was another way where we could just kind of, make the problem go away? Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be incredible, wouldn't it? Well, we're here to, again, alchemize. We're here to transmute these densities. We're here to raise our frequency. And in order to do this, we have to get out of that patterning. We have to get out of this problem solution mentality. And we do that by dropping into our core and realigning within ourselves and realigning with our higher frequency light. So the first step to really being able to do this is to, first off, we got to acknowledge the feeling. Okay, a lot of times these feelings will kind of creep up because if we're not really doing anything, we're kind of sitting around, the mind's going to start to say, well, here's some things we got to do. We got some problems. We got to, the mind's going to offer up some thoughts for you to think of, for you to think about and focus on. So that's how this stuff kind of creeps in. But what we want to do in situations like that is we want to, first off, accept those thoughts, okay? Because while we're sitting and just being, we're creating space. And when we're creating space, we're allowing more of our higher self to drop in. And as we do that, these emotions, these thoughts release and they come up. And that's the critical juncture right there, is what do we do when these thoughts come up? And that's where a lot of us kind of make a choice that sets us off into this suffering, okay? We choose to start thinking about the thought, and then it blows up into a problem, and then we have to find a solution that we lack, okay? And this momentum gets building. But what if we were instantly, we reprogram ourselves so when we allow the space and these thoughts come up, and first off, we accept the thoughts. We see them. These are densities, these are energies that are coming up into our awareness to be recognized, to be released. Okay, that's number one. So the first thing we do is we accept. And now when we accept, instantly that kind of drops us in a little bit to our core, right? We start heading inside because we're not focusing on a problem. We're focusing on a dense energy that's come up to be, first off, recognized and ultimately released. Okay? And as we do this and we recognize it, the second thing we do is we feel it. Okay? We accept it and then we feel it. We kind of allow it to be. But we allow it to be with that space, knowing, again, that it's energy. It's an energetic frequency that we are going to alchemize. We are going to change it. We are going to transform it, integrate it, merge it, whatever you want, whatever word you want to use, into our higher self. We're going to pull it into alignment. Okay, so now we have what our mind was starting to say was a problem. We've accepted these thoughts, this emotion. We've felt it. We're starting to feel it, because the feeling is really the key to be able to ultimately release this stuff, right? Because it is coming up to be felt. And a lot of these originated from past experiences that we never felt. We would have a very, a shock and here's a problem, and then boom, we go on and we seek a solution. We never really feel, we never really process it. Okay, so now here it is again, coming back up, and this is a pattern that keeps happening. But when we can feel it, we start to really release it, because that changes that memory from the ego, and it really just kind of starts to reprogram it into thoughts that are higher frequency and more in alignment, okay? And also gets this energy moving within the body wherever this density was stuck. Okay, so when we do this, we start to breathe, we start to move energy consciously up and down our body, and we'll start to feel lighter automatically. And what happens after this? We drop in our core a little bit further, but now, instead of focusing so much on the problem, we have accepted it, we have felt it. Now our awareness is in the body because we're breathing. We're breathing consciously, and as we're doing this, we are increasing the momentum of our higher frequency, our soul's energy, traveling up and down our central channel. Okay, so now we've got this vortex of energy moving through us. And we're starting to realize that, you know what? The problem that our mind perceived really isn't a problem at all. And the solution that our mind wanted us to go look for, that it perceived we lack, isn't really lacking. All of a sudden, the problem and the solution merge together within our core, because we have pulled this down, okay, through acceptance and feeling and breathing and moving down into our core. We have pulled it together and integrated it in with our higher frequency light. So the next thing you know, the problem, the solution, it's kind of just all wrapped up into one. It's all there, right? We don't see the problem, so therefore we don't need a solution. We just instinctively know how to move forward with our lives and what to do, because we are now in tune with our guidance. So that's really a good way to kind of break out of these patterns when you're feeling like you're in this funk. Pull it down into your body. First, you see it, you accept the fact that these energies are there, that they're coming up to be recognized. You allow yourself to feel them. And as you do that, you bring your awareness into your body and start breathing consciously up and down. And before you know it, what you perceived as a problem is really not a problem at all. Okay, because you have taken that energy and you have raised its frequency, and now you have access to everything that you need to move forward. You realize that you lacked nothing regarding the situation. You were in full control. You just were seeing it from a limited perspective. So I hope this really helps you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Maybe you guys want to, reach out and help some of the subscribers and listeners, and tell what you do in situations like that to get yourself out of a funk. That would be fantastic. Be a great conversation to have. And until the next video, guys, love and light. Thank you.